Today the subject that chosen, it was Buddhism and death. So if we talk like this, the Buddha, when he was scientist actually, he was looking at nature, something like if we talk about this, like the same like Newton or other kind of scientists, but the Buddha used for the scientists the mindfulness, looking at nature, and that's how we learn about nature. He didn't use microscope and other things. He used the mindfulness and the concentrations to look at nature and to learn from the nature in the way that just by observing. And he say one important thing is not, he say, don't believe anything. You have your sense doors, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, thinking. You know by yourself. Just look at nature, you will understand the nature. So when you look at himself, when he was mindful about himself, you see that sometimes he's walking, sometimes he's sitting, sometimes standing. He has his body making different kind of exercise, drinking or whatever. But you see also sometimes he's thinking, sometimes he's happy, sometimes he don't happy. Sometimes maybe he's analyzing, sometimes so it means we have some kind of mental activity also inside ourselves. What usually we use the word of mind. Something like we are as a human being, as a creatures, we have body and mind. We are functioning together in the most normal way, more not artificial, not something like big philosophy. So the body also, sometimes we are, like I say, walking, sometimes we are standing, we are changing position, we are doing other things. All the time our body is on movement, changing. The age is changing for our body. But also our mind. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are disliking, sometimes we are all the time also changing with our mental things. Like this we are changing since we are born, all our life, getting older, sometimes we get sick or whatever. And then all our life we are changing, we grow up, like we have hair, so sometimes the hair fell down, another hair grow up, okay? I'm washing my hands, so the cells of the body, new cells coming, and then another washing, something all the time we are changing. We are eating and then digesting the food, and going into the blood, and we have the vitamin, and then going toilet, and it's go also in the toilet. Sometimes we talk with people or reading a book, we change ideas, so we change also in our mind, we are learning other things, new things, sometimes we forget things. Sometimes maybe we eat something which is very nice, very good, maybe healthy, and then we feel more fresh and more light. Sometimes maybe we eat something not so good and problem in the stomach, we became sick. So sometimes it means we are eating something good, sometimes not so good, and then it's changing. So sometimes our body influence in the good way, and sometimes our body influence in the bad way. Also sometimes I exposed to good company, maybe nice friends or whatever, they teach me something good, and in my mind also I became better and happier. But sometimes I exposed to bad information, maybe bad people or whatever, are reading something not nice, and then I exposed to bad things in my mind. So we are changing all our lives. Since we born, we are all the time changing, okay? Something like birth and death, birth and death. And this is something like since we born till we are dying, what we call it. Yeah. Now I want to ask you something. Yeah, suppose I ask you, okay, what you eat yesterday morning?
I can say to you.
You can say to me.
Yes.
What you eat 2 days ago in the lunchtime?
Oh no.
Try. I think that you can do it. Try. What you are doing now to answer me? What you try to do for looking for answer? Do you try a little bit to concentrate on the idea? Do you see this relationship between the concentration and between the memory? Yeah? When you're practicing a little bit, you concentrate and then you can remember better.
Yeah.
Now you see the job of the monk. What is the duty of the monk? What we are doing mostly all the day, we are just practicing mindfulness, concentration. Sometimes we are practicing, maybe we can remember what we ate 2 days ago. Sometimes maybe we can suddenly remember what we ate 1 month ago. Nature happens when the concentration increasing. sometimes we sit and then maybe when practicing just mindfulness and concentration increasing, and automatically the people maybe they can remember, 5 years ago when I go to this and this university, my friend told me this one, I didn't like what he told me. Something like that, then you remember things more fast. Sometimes you can remember, when I was in the kindergarten, my friend he told me this and this, and whatever, I don't know, the teacher shouted on me, or something like this. You're already coming so young age. This is not because we look for this. It's nature, things that happen. That when people are concentrating, sometimes by nature they start to remember things. It's a long time. And sometimes people they can remember what happened in the past life. But this is normal things. As a nature things, like I said, we are just changing all the time. So when we do something, for example, if I give to my friend in the school maybe I don't know, present for the birthday, so maybe after a few years he never forget it for me, and then he give me back some other present. You see the cause and effect. I do something in certain time. Sometimes the effect will be immediately in the same time, but sometimes it takes few years to get the result, let's say. So like I said, actually every moment there is new seeds born, divided again, are reborn again. And sometimes they are going down and another coming. Okay, so every moment actually we die and reborn if we talk like this. So if we do something good, for example, so it affects on us physically and mentally in a good way, but also in our mind. Speak to someone nice, it comes back to me also. So like the Buddha said that every moment in your life there is birth and death, changing, if we call it like this. We use the words of birth and death, but we are changing all the time. So in the same way, in the same nature, when people they are something like dying, okay, what we call dying, because why? The body is not functioning anymore, but it's not mean we are continuing. So that's why sometimes people they can remember. I say now we can see when we are alive this cause and effect, but when people they die and the body lay down, okay, the mind also continue to change. And as a nature things, if we are doing good things in our life or whenever, so immediately it affects good things. When something like, if we talk about this, the mind continue and holding another body. Okay, try to make it easy. We talk about this, that we have our thinking, hearing, seeing, okay, we get information, okay, and we have our body. And then in the moment of what we call dying, okay, what happens? It's just the body lay down, and this is just an element of physical element which continue, but the mind, the thinking, hearing, seeing, it's continuing also. But because we have something like attachment, and sometimes I don't like it, I like this one, immediately the mind is, it can for example, if you are living in the tent, okay, and then the wind coming and taking the tent, immediately you look for other things to stay. In the same way, when in the moment of dying, the mind is still have this attachment. So when the mind immediately he loses this body, immediately he holds another body. What we call reborn. This is rebirth. It's all the time happen. But the same like in the what we call alive. Okay. If I do something good, the next moment or after sometimes again I have new rebirth. Okay. For example, tomorrow, I go again. I speak nice to my friend in the university. Tomorrow I go. We have nice conversation again. Okay. So it's something like this. It's called an effect. So in the same way, if I'm doing good things, okay, in the moment that what we call this body stop functioning, the mind is holding again and continuing the good way. There is no such thing like in our life there is no such thing like a waiting list. Every moment changing. We are again and again continuing. We are not in a waiting list in our life. In the moment that we are dying, again, there is no waiting list. Immediately the mind continues, holding another body. And as a nature thing, the same like during what we call our life, okay? When we are doing good things, we have good future, okay? If we do in the present moment good things, immediately we have good past, let's say. And when we have good past, immediately it reflects to the good future. Okay? Cause and effect. And that's why the Buddha say, if you want to have good future, let's talk now about what we say, good next life, okay? If we call it like this, because every moment is new life, okay? But if we talk about the new life, okay, you say, if you want to have better life all the time, every moment, just make good as much as you can. Because our life is happened just now. Past is just a memory. Future is just a planning. But what happened is just now. And if I do the things now good, everything will be good. So that's why the Buddha say, if you want to be happy, if you want to be happy now, if you want to be happy in the future, you have just to follow three elements, three things. Try to avoid any evil. Don't make any bad things. So as an effect, no bad things will come to you. It's not because someone is going to punish you. It's because this is nature. And if you do something which is certain things, it reflects unhappiness on you. It's not because someone sitting there saying, no, I punish you, pepe. This is just nature things. For example, if I take this one and I threw it, immediately it fell down. As a nature thing. Nobody punished me. It is just nature. It will come back. That's why in the same way, you say certain things in your actions can easily bring you unhappiness. For example, if you are killing someone, so it reflects unhappiness on you. Or any animals, not only people, if you are killing. It reflects unhappiness because usually it's anger. Or if you are stealing from someone, usually it's greedy. Wanting, so you take from someone. It will reflect unhappiness on you. Or if you make sex which is not correct, for example, many girlfriends, many boyfriends, or the wife of the husband, you go mix with them, separate between the husband and wife, or using the children. All these things easily can hurt you. Or if we are telling lies, we are using the wrong speech, hurting people with the speech or whatever, it reflects unhappiness on us. And then you have intoxicated, people taking intoxicants like drugs, like alcohol, they're hurting their mind, they don't know what they're doing, all these things is hurting them. The Buddha says our mind is very sensitive. We are very sensitive people. That's why these actions reflect on us. Maybe we are regret or we are unhappy about what we have done. And this is not because someone punished you, because your mind is very sensitive, because this is our nature. To be sensitive, to make bad, we reflect unhappiness on us. So you say, if you don't want to suffer, don't make them. It's hurting you. You do this, maybe you want a lot of money, you steal the bank, and then it will hurt you because your mind is very sensitive. You will feel pain about it. But you say, actually there is some things that you do in your life, these actions will give you happiness. Mostly giving you happiness. For example, when you are helping other people. You go in the street, you see some beggars or someone that want to eat or whatever, you give them something, you also feel happy. When sick, you help them, maybe you go, you talk with them or share with them. Also, you feel happy, you also feel happy. You save the life of people or whatever. Someone is in a miserable situation, I don't know, maybe someone stuck with a car, you even help them. It's give you happiness. He said because of this, if you don't make any bad, so you don't have bad to fight with them in the future. It will not reflect on you bad. Any kind of future, even close future or far future. And if you make good, it will reflect on you good. In the near future, in the far future. And very important to understand, this is not something which is sentiment, okay? It's not someone is going to punish you. It's just nature is nature. And the third thing, so you say, don't make any bad, do good. And the third thing is just be mindful, because your life is happening in the present moment. And automatically, if you do these three things, automatically, moment by moment, you will have better future. And for sure, in the moment of dying, person is going to better place. So if we die, maybe we are reborn again as a human being, better conditions or good conditions. This we can see because of why. Because when he practices in strong concentration, he remember not only what happened when in childhood, he can remember what happened before he was reborn. And this is people, when they are practicing, sometimes they can remember.
Yes.
Actually, to be happy, we don't have to think about all these things. We just have to do now good. We try to do now in the present moment, not to do any bad, and to live our life in the present moment. What's the meaning to live our life in the present moment? What we have to do for live our life in the present moment? Actually, it's to pay attention to what happened to us. You think that someone is going on the stairs and he pay attention every step that he's doing. When he go down, already nothing happened, bad happened. He don't fall down and don't break the legs, for example. Sometimes people, they are driving and they talking by telephone, and then they don't concentrate on the driving. What the effect? I'm not talking about the police can catch you and then a lot of money. If you don't pay attention, the effect may be something like in the future, maybe accident or something. What to do that we only can concentrate in one thing all the time? Not possible for us to drive and also to talk by telephone. The mind, you can concentrate one thing only.
Yeah,
be mindful one thing. So actually, if we talk about this, if we pay attention to our body, we will live our life better in the physical. For example, when we are walking, we pay attention that, now I'm walking. When we are sitting, we pay, now I'm sitting. Sometimes I give this example and then you see the people moving. Already correct the sitting, you see, for example. When a little bit mindfulness is there. You think how many hours the student sitting in the class every day? You think if the teacher, a few times in this class, she will tell them, students, just pay attention how you are sitting. How much people, the children, they sit much better. She don't need to correct them. They know by themselves, only to let them pay attention, to be mindful. So we are walking, sitting, standing and laying down. Even laying down when you go to sleep. If you pay attention to your sleeping, you see you can sleep much better. And what about the small position? You think that I talk to you and then I move immediately, I plunk, and then, now I have to clean it. But if I pay attention when I'm holding it, I'm drinking, how I swallow, how I take down, how I put in, so everything already finished and confirmed, and I can talk with you again. Don't need to start to look for paper and to clean and this. Just continue by the talking. So like I said, we can pay attention to our body, big body and small body. Many positions, many small things. But I say that I don't have only body, I also feeling. I'm happy to sit with you now. So I have my feeling. I know, I'm happy now. I pay attention, I'm mindful about my feeling that I'm happy now. Sometimes you see it maybe, painful already, the legs, so long sitting. You see, I'm unhappy now. You know the unhappiness is coming on you. But sometimes also we have neutral feeling. So if we pay attention, now on neutral feeling, I know what happened to me, what kind of feeling I feel. And then we have we used to call it the words of mind. It's the thinking, remembering, judging, analyzing, all the thinking. So if the thinking coming and I pay attention, thinking, sometimes the thinking is just small thinking, and then I start to follow it, and then I make big story from nothing. But if you see, thinking is coming, you don't let the thinking to play with you. You see the thinking coming, immediately you see how they go. One more things we have inside is the anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. We call it 5 hindrances. They move us very, very much. They play with us very, very much. All the day they play with us. Any one of you don't have any anger? Anyone don't have worry, doubt, laziness, greedy, wanting? See how much this kind of, let's say, hindrances, they are moving us all the day. But we don't pay attention to them, and they play with us so much. So if we use the mindfulness, when we see any kind, for example, anger coming, immediately we can see how it's coming, how it's going. And it's not control us so much, like let's say how you call this, that you play with them, huh? Doll and puppet, because the Buddha says mostly why we are doing good, the bad things, because these things, anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving, they are influence on us so much. So when we learn to build the mindfulness, to look at them, they are less and less influence on us, and then slowly the future became better and better and better, and for sure after the dying also we have better future. Maybe I let you the ability to ask questions. Anyone want to ask?
What is meant with the hindrance or with the doubting? If I would not start to ask questions or look behind things, maybe I would never know. So what is exactly, what is the doubt?
That's correct. You should ask questions. You should check, but with confidence. This is exactly what the Buddha says. You correct 100%. This is very, very important to look by yourself, but not because of confusion and doubting, because of confidence, because of wisdom. This is very good question. Because people think that everything, for example, like every time you eat, it's only because you are greedy. Even people sick, how many times they don't have the feeling to eat? But Mama said you must eat it. Because you are sick, you must eat something. Then you cannot tell me that you eat because you're really greedy to eat, but because you know this is medicine for you. You must eat it. If you do the things because of greed, for example, when we are eating because of greedy, maybe next time I want to have better one, or I want to eat a lot of it, but everything changes, the taste will change, and then next time I disappoint already. But if I eat because I know this food is medicine for me, I can eat any kind of food. Not depend on this taste or whatever, and then I block myself. So in the same thing, when people tell you something, we say you have to look by wisdom, with the confidence, and then to look by yourself. Whatever you know for sure, this is you know. What you don't know, maybe, but I don't know yet.
But I must tell you something with confidence.
Yes,
I'm not asking, but I'm telling you.
Yes, please.
Because you told us before that our mind is sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that not every mind is sensitive. And I'm sure, for me, for example, if I do good things, I feel good. And if I do bad things, I feel bad. But I think maybe my neighbor, he likes to do bad things and he feels good to do bad things. So I think the reality looks a little bit different, as you told me. So you didn't convince me, and I'm telling you this with confidence.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mean it. I don't want to criticize you, but I think really the reality looks a little bit different, because you can't compare every human being. You can't put them in one box, and you can't put all the minds in one box. So what you're saying about?
I ask you something.
Yeah.
When you tell me this, when you share with me this, are you happy?
I'm quite happy with
now.
My life.
No, I'm not talking about your life. Now, when you are thinking about this subject,
no, it makes I feel anger. I don't feel good if I tell
your experience now, or your sharing with me things now, is out of anger. It's not out of wisdom or vision or clear feeling. It's because you feel hurted.
Yeah. But the reality is not always wisdom. Sorry.
You see, I tell you something. Before I spoke with Bernard, we talked about the same thing. He shared with me something. Okay? If I'm going to close my hand, okay? We do it with translations. So it will not be only a private conversation. It will be teaching, something, explanation to everybody. Maybe you can explain a little bit the subject about this, that she complained about the neighbor, and she said that this is not all the mind, is that they are doing good, they receive good, they do better. Yeah. So let me try to explain you something. When the Buddha look at the nature, he saw something interesting. Actually, he saw the same things like Newton. That's why I mentioned before Newton. Newton, one of the things that he find out is the power of the cause and effect. I give you example. If I close my hands, what is the possibility that you will hear any voice? Think. I'm going to close my hands. You will hear anything with this? Before I'm going to do it, I'm asking you what you think about it. You want to do that? We hear the voice. We hear the voice. I will make it again. It will be a voice or not? What do you think? We try? Again voice. Again voice. Can be that we hear this voice without I close my hands, or anything will make it. I don't know, maybe I put here a record of it, but something has to make the voice. Cannot be that the voice will come with no reason. But in another way, it's not possible that if I make it, you don't hear the voice. Otherwise, maybe you cannot hear or something, but in certain situations, you will hear the voice again and again and again. If I have a pool here, and I take the stones and I throw the stones into the pool, is the water will jump? There is any one of you thinks that if I take the stones and I throw to the water will not jump? But
depending on the scale or the dimension you're talking about, she say this is like the same dimension, the same scale. If there would be a dwarf, little being standing and would clap the hand, maybe we could not hear it because it's different.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. So I ask, if there is the dwarf and he will close the hand, you will be able to hear the voice. In certain occasion, in certain situation, there is certain result. Okay, but still there is a cause and effect. Like you say, if you are not able to hear and I close, you will never hear the close. In certain cause, there is certain occasion, certain effect. The same thing, like I say, if I take the stones and I throw to the water, anyone thinks that the water will not jump out of it? Anyone thinks that the water can jump suddenly without any reason? Cause and effect. So I say to someone, if I don't throw the stone, so they say, but if the fish will move, so the water jump. That's why I say, there should be any reason for the water to jump. The water will not jump without no reason. But you see, there is a cause and effect. That's why I say, Newton said the same thing, cause and effect. He talked about the idea that every cause makes the effect, and anything that happens, it's because something makes it. Every action brings a result. Cannot be that will be a result without any action. You know, in Pali, how in the language of the Buddha was living 2,500 years ago in India. He speak language which we call Pali, ancient Indian language. Do you know in Pali language how we say action? We say every action, every reaction. Okay? I think everybody knows.
Karma.
Karma it means action, and usually the reaction is what we usually see, but the people that don't know the name, it's called vipak. Sometimes people they see someone walking and fell down and say, oh, bad karma. Actually, the idea that he fell down is not bad karma. Bad karma is vipak, to see him falling down. Karma is that he didn't pay attention how he's walking. This is the karma. This is the result. This is the cause. He lose the balance. He fell down. This is the vipak. I gave you example. I gave you example of closing the hand. I gave you example of stones into the water. This is physical example. The Buddha said that this cause and effect is not only in the physical element, is also in our mind. You see, for example, I close the hand, immediately you can hear the voice. It means between the cause and the effect, there is immediate. Immediately you see me closing, immediately you hear. Okay? It's called immediate karma, because the connection between the cause and effect is immediate. Okay? It's called immediate karma. I can see the connections very clear between the cause and effect. I take the seeds I put in the ground. and maybe I give water, maybe after 3 years, 5 years, oh, I have the tree with the apple. It takes 3 years, maybe 5 years between the cause and effect. In my class when I was kindergarten, I give a present, birthday present to my friend. Now we are already 50 years, maybe I need something from him. I come, oh yeah, for sure you can take. He likes me very much. It means already 50 years between the cause and effect. Maybe 50 years I will not be able to remember between the cause and effect. Maybe I was bad to my friend in this class 50 years ago. Now still you don't respect me. I give you something example. Suppose my house, I go to work, I come back and then I see, ooh, there's someone come and break into my house and steal for me the money. Actually, if we talk about this idea, this is wrong to say, he steal for me the money. You can say, it's been stolen to me. Actually, the thief is not relevant. Because I lost this money because of actions that I myself did in the past. If he didn't steal for me, maybe I lost my pocket, maybe the fire come into the house, something will make that this money I have to lose it. Because this man come and steal for me, not because of him, it's not relevant actually. It's because I make something in the past, so it's reflect on me back. I cannot remember. Maybe sometime I can remember. Actually, this person, he come, he make it something like he helped me to pay the karma. He is the one to make this karma, to reflect this karma on me. I say, no, I lost the pocket, okay? But in this case, he make it. He was the actions that make it. But it's not mean that he's an angel. He's stupid. He make also bad karma by himself. And someone will steal for him in the future. And in the future, he will not remember that he actually helped me and he steal for me. And someone will steal for him and he say, he steal for me. He also will blame another one. And another one will blame another one. And we all the time blaming each other. We never able to see what we have done in the past. So things come back to us. We are our own of our deeds. But we never be able to pay attention what we are really doing to others. So we used to blame others in what happened to us. If I understand it, it's not only that I don't get anger about the man that steal for me or hurt me, if I call it like this. I will also get mercy about them because he get hurt. He helped me to get rid from something. But it is stupid. He will have to pay it. He will have to punish sometime, which I don't know when. But I don't looking for his punishment. Opposite. I come with a mercy. I wish that he will learn in the good way. That he will be clever so he don't hurt the people and everybody hurting each other. That's why the Buddha say, if people say, he hurt me, he make to me, he just show his anger. That's why immediately the first question I ask, what do you feel? You feel anger inside? Because it show reflects anger. But if we understand this idea of cause and effect, we forget and forgive. Past already. The important how now I can be better person. We all the time hurting each other. How can we make peace? Only by peace we can make peace, not by war. Only by loving kindness we can overcome the anger. Not by anger we can overcome anger. Please.
But isn't it that it's also important to feel these feelings? For me, for example, I feel it important to feel the anger or the anxiety or to know what is going on, also to be able to experience the opposite, the love and everything. But if someone only feeling maybe the love and the loving kindness, maybe is not aware of the other.
Awareness is one thing, anger is another thing. I ask you something. You are walking on the jungle and suddenly you see the tiger coming in the front. What is the most things will save your life? Is the fear or just to climb the tree to save your life?
But I think the fear is the cause that I will go and move up the tree and protect myself. Maybe if I would not have the fear, I would go towards the tiger and hug him and carry him, and then he will bite me.
No, this is stupidity to do this. To hug the tiger.
Yeah,
the movement of the legs is one thing, fear is another thing. If the movement of the legs will be out of confidence, effort, wisdom, it will be exactly on the direction and jumping. If it will be out of fear, it can be blocked.
I'm thinking the fear is maybe the cause that my legs can move.
Opposite.
Yeah.
The fear is like a dust in the eyes. Don't let you to see the things clear. How much the people, they need to go to look for job. If they get a fear, they cannot sleep good at night. They are not eating the breakfast like it should be. And all what they are doing is just they have to go to tell to the boss, this is what I am. And the boss needs them exactly like they need them. But if they have a fear, all the week they cannot get a rest.
But isn't it that, like, you know, there's always like the bright and the dark side, and only if there's the two together, you know.
Because of the dark side, that's why we are suffering. Because you have the anger inside, you are suffering. People have anger. When the anger coming, there is disliking. You never be able to be anger with happiness inside. Also the worry. The worry is hindrance. It's disturbing you to manage your life in a good way. Better for you to live with the confidence. Same things with the effort and energy. Better than laziness. The doubting. I can do it, I cannot do it, it's good for me. Good. Only unru in the mind. But if you have the confidence inside and not the doubt, you can manage your life better.
Oh, that's
you can choose your life better, how to go. Same things with the greedy. Attachment or looking in, never satisfied. Whatever you will have, you never be satisfied if greedy is there. That's why we call them hindrances. They are like a dust in the eyes. They are the reason that we are suffering. When you use the mindfulness, you slowly cleaning this dust from the eyes. And then you are developing more confidence, energy, mindfulness, concentration, not unru, and most important, wisdom. Whatever decision you can take in your life, boom, you know exactly. It's not mean that, okay, I'm like we use the word shanti. Hey, I'm shanti, I'm all the day laying down. This is all laziness. Okay, there's also no action. There's also kind of action. For example, yeah, you can tell this first. It's not mean I have to be okay, everything is okay, I lazy. This is also not correct. One woman, she say, oh, I go to ask for the tax. And I go there, and then I get angry so much, and I took the table, and I threw the table, and I shout on them, and then they give me what I want. If you go, you relax, nobody look at you, nobody care about you. I said, okay, one woman, one friend, okay, she saw me when I practice meditation. She tell me, when I go to the text, to ask her about the text, and then I get angry about what they make to me, and then I take the table, and I threw the table, and I shout so much, and only then they listen to me, and they give me what I want. He said to me, if you go, you are practicing meditation, you so relaxed, nobody look at you, nobody care about you, you sit quiet and keep quiet, and nobody give you anything. I said, no way. Because if I be mindful, I can see the situation, and maybe I can see that the most way to do is to take the table and to throw the table. But I don't do it because of anger. I do it because of wisdom that I know this is what should be. Like an actor in the movie. Sometimes they look sad and they cry, but actually they don't sad. They are just playing. But they do it with wisdom, because now this is the way how to show things. You know, when she make it in the anger, she don't control herself. Maybe the policeman is there and the table hit them, and then she finds herself in the jail because the anger so much she don't know what she's doing. The anger control her. But if I do it, because it's come with the wisdom as a show, I can throw it in the right direction, not harm anyone, on the right time. So then I will be able to achieve better, if this is what should be done. Same things, if I get angry about my neighbor, maybe there is many ways how to solve this thing that is making wrong. But if I get angry, I occupied with my suffering. I cannot see how can I solve the problem better?
How can I know that I'm practicing or having equanimity instead of just pushing down anger?
No, we are not going to push the
Yeah,
anger.
no, but how do I know the difference?
I'm not going to push the anger, I just look at the anger. I ask you something, what you're doing now? Running, jumping, flying, what you're doing? When you told me that you are sitting, did you push your sitting or you just know that you are sitting?
No.
You're smiling?
Yes.
You just pushing now, you're smiling, or you just know the smiling?
Oh, it's just there.
It's just there and you know it.
Yes.
So when you get anger and you just know that you're angry, do you push the anger or you just know that you get anger? Mindfulness is to know the situation. Mindfulness is not to control the situation. Understand? If you get anger, I'm telling you, just know anger coming on me. Anger, anger, anger. I'm not telling you to push it. When you are sitting, I'm just telling you, just know that you are sitting. Sitting, sitting, sitting. Understand?
But maybe the question is maybe because of being having the neutral or the equanimity, maybe I'm not able to see that there is anger. You know, maybe I don't look at the anger. Maybe I push the anger away, or I something like block myself, not accepting that there is anger.
No, we are using mindfulness. We are not controlling. When you see, it's not mean you have to do yourself equanimity. I'm not saying that you should make yourself equanimity. I say that if you have anger, you just have to know that you have anger. The result of the mindfulness is that slowly, slowly the anger reducing. It's not mean that we control the anger, but the result of it that we look at the anger. By the time, during the time, the anger is going slowly, slowly, less and less. What is better, to eat with a plate, dirty or clean? Now, if you see the plate is dirty, can you make it clean? Can you make flick and it will be clean? I tell you something, I don't know to clean the dishes. What I know is to do this. If I take the water and some soap, I do this on the plate, and the result is that I clean. But I don't know to clean, I just know to do this. Do you think that anyone took the washing machine and put her in the course how to clean the clothes? To wash the clothes? She know anything about cleaning?
The person.
No.
The washing machine.
Washing machine, The washing machine don't understand anything about washing clothes. Just turning. The result.
You think there's no soul in the washing machine?
The result is of this turning and the water and the washing machine is that I can say the cloth is clean. Believe me, I am 21 years, I am practicing meditation, I don't know to clean my mind. But I only know I'm sitting, I know I'm happy, I know I pay attention to what happened to me. I put mindfulness on my life, so then the mind, as a result, clean. Rising, falling, just pay attention. It's not mean I must be equanimity. Now equanimity very much. It's not controlling equanimity. I just look, anger coming, I look, anger coming on me. The result is that every time the anger coming and I put mindfulness on it, automatically by the time, slowly like a big tree, boom, 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 cutting the leaf one leaf. Not possible to boom. The tree one time, it's not working. Same like in the table, we are cleaning the dust slowly. So the result of it, that you are building the confidence, the effort, the mindfulness, concentration in yourself. You have more tools to live your life, to manage your life, and better, in clear understanding. Not to let this anger, worry, doubt, lazy and craving to manage you. Any other thing? Okay, so thank you very much. Good enough.